All right, guys, I'm cruising through Utah. Got about 4.5 hours before I get home for my reset day. And I've kind of been busy last week. I've been shooting videos, but I didn't really post anything because it takes me a second to edit it and all the stuff. So, but I have a week that I haven't reported my numbers, so I'll probably try to do a video, like a spreadsheet video to go over the numbers and miles, because I don't have that in front of me today. But so because of that maintenance that I took at Pittsburgh Power, I was like 3 days down for maintenance. I started on Friday with $1,700 going down to Alabama. Then I jumped over to Mississippi, picked up, and went out to Oregon. That was $5,400. So we ended up getting $7,100 for that week, because that picked up in Pennsylvania for $1,700 on Friday, and then I delivered in Oregon on Friday again for $5,400. So the week, if we go Friday to Friday, ended up being $7,100. Turned out okay. I didn't think that week was going to be all that good. I thought what I was going to do is report a really short week and then start Monday and then go Monday through Monday. But because of the long haul, just decided to do the 7-day week and just take out that 3-day maintenance period there. So I might throw together a real quick spreadsheet video looking at just those two loads, which would be a 7-day week, the $7,100 week. So I'm just kind of in my mind reviewing the Hitch. I started out on a Tuesday, left the house. That week ended up being $8,100, I think, right? Because I was able to deliver in Georgia on Tuesday. That's what got me onto a Tuesday to Tuesday. Then I did a all southern running, what I call the South. Tuesday to Tuesday, that ended up being $6,150. Then I had a 3-day period where I was off for maintenance. Then I did a Friday to Friday for $7,100. So we've been doing some pretty good weeks, really. If I wouldn't have stopped to get the maintenance done, we would have had 3 weeks in a row, at over $6,000 a week. So, like I've said before in my videos, if you understand the flatbed market and know where to run and where to stay out of, you can be pretty good. You can do pretty well out here. You can also do pretty poorly if you make a few bad decisions, and I've done that. So I just had 3 weeks in a row where I've been pretty wise on where I send my truck, and gotten pretty lucky sometimes too, I'd say too. So I've been noticing the rates on flatbed going up a little bit. I've had some better power when it comes to negotiating. It seems like brokers are more than willing to hit the number I want to hit, whereas before they seemed kind of a little bit, nope, we got to be here, and they would. Gosh, my camera just shut off on me for some random reason. What I was saying is it seems like brokers have been a little bit more easy to work with lately. I don't know if that's because capacity's coming out of the marketplace, or I don't know what's going on. I don't think volumes are really up. This is the downtime for flatbeds. It's fall. Fall's not a good flatbed time, so I have to assume capacity's coming out of the market, or I've just been getting lucky. I don't know. But anyway, that's what's going on. So I have that missed week, and now I'm on to the next week. So I picked up already some lumber in Vancouver, Washington, and this load goes out to Arkansas. So that'll start my next week, I guess, if we are now on a Friday to Friday schedule, as far as how we break our week, right? So if I track this Friday, yesterday, that's picking up in Washington State, going to Arkansas for 41.50, and then whatever I get out of Arkansas that I can deliver on Friday will cap out that week. But I may end up taking a long haul out of Arkansas back to Washington or Oregon, in which case I won't deliver until Monday. So it'll go a little beyond a week. So we'll see how it works out. But anyway, that's kind of the update for what's going on. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do that spreadsheet video. If you guys want to see the numbers, let me know in the comments. If you guys like the numbers videos, I kind of like to do them. It's something that I need to look at anyway as an owner, and if I do it with the camera going, it's kind of fun. So let me know if that's something you guys enjoy.
Okay, guys, I promised a numbers video at the end of it, so let's go over the numbers for I guess really we'll just do the hitch real quick. So 25,400 for the hitch. When we finish the load I'm on now, we'll be sitting at 211 per mile, all miles, and drive about 12,000 miles. Now, let's just go over the weeks. I don't normally track my numbers in weeks, but for YouTube, everybody likes to look at a week. So let's just look at weeks. So I started at home, deadheaded to Salt Lake City, picked up, went to Sherwood. That was an insulation load. Then picked up some sheetrock. Went out to Spokane. Then went Spokane down to South Carolina with scaffolding, and that completed the week. So this was leaving on Tuesday and then delivered on Tuesday. That was 1 week. That ended up being, that odometer to that odometer was 4,043 miles. I had a reset in the middle of that. I had a reset in Nashville on my way down. So 4,043 miles for a total revenue of 8,010, and that put me at, for the week, $1.98 per all mile. That long haul brought it down a little bit, and that was loaded, $1.99 loaded, so the deadhead was a little bit more. Actually, I didn't have much deadhead on that one. And then the next week was my short haul week. We started off in South Carolina and we ended in Pennsylvania because we were lining up to get the maintenance done. So we ended that in Pennsylvania. Then I deadheaded to the shop. And so that was, these odometers, total mileage of 2193 for a total revenue of 6150. And that put us at 280 per mile for that week. Then the next week, we came out of Pennsylvania. We deadheaded up to Du Bois, Pennsylvania. I got these a little wrong because I should start. No, I think I do have this right. I was trying to take the mileage off from going to the shop. Just starting in Saxonburg at the shop Friday morning when I booked the load, and I think that's why this mileage doesn't match this. Anyway, not a big deal. So only thing we had this week was 1,700 and 5,400. That came out to 71. That was the week that I haven't reported yet. And I just finished that load, this 41, that was that steel load that went to Oregon, and then that put me at 202 all miles, and 35.15 on the mileage. Again, these long hauls, guys, normally come in a little less. So we had let's see, so we had, this load coming out of Pennsylvania going down to Alabama was $1.89. That got me a little bit low on the rate, starting off the week with that one, and then this one going out west paid $2.24. This over here is where we were sitting at the hitch at the end of each load. So you can see we started off the hitch over here, going deadhead to Salt Lake, and then going out to Portland. We started off pretty low, then we got back up over 2, then we dropped down under 2, then we got back up to 2. So you can see as we progress in the loads, $2.16, $2.16, $2.22, $2.28. During this week, we started to get that number up a bit 219, 217, and then when I finish this load here, which is the load I'm on now, I'll be sitting at 211 for all miles. That'll be in Arkansas. So those are the numbers for the Hitch, guys. That's basically 3 weeks worth. With right here, we had about 3 days off to do some maintenance and then started again. So we ended that on Tuesday and then started again on Friday. So anyway, that's the numbers, guys. So far, we're doing all right with only about 8% deadhead. That's pretty interesting. Another number that would be fun to do. This is guessing at my mileage. This was when I was home. I had about 1,300 miles left. So let's just go ahead and real briefly. This is always fun to do. Let's see what my loaded was. We take out the deadhead miles, and that puts my loaded at 229 for load per loaded mile. So that's pretty close to what the market is showing. If we look at the DAT number, it's showing less than this. If we look at the truck stop number, it's showing more than that. So anyway, guys, that's the numbers so far. This hitch isn't finished yet, but those are the 3 weeks so far in the hitch. So let me know if you guys like this type of video, and let me know where you guys are running at and what numbers you guys are able to produce.